So I have been loving XDefiant since it's come out. I have loved posting it and talking about it on the channel and just taking a break from Call of Duty. But unfortunately, and I do mean unfortunately, I am a Call of Duty channel first and foremost. People expect me to cover Call of Duty news. But I ask you, viewer, straight up, what fucking news is there? What news is there with Modern Warfare 3? I mean, look, I've been very vocal about my praise for Sledgehammer Games trying their hardest to bring us cool content for Modern Warfare 3, and yet there's this weird thing where I don't want to fucking play it. If I had a controller in my hand that was connected to a PC or console with Modern Warfare 3 on the screen and a fucking loaded gun in the other, I'd have a hard time choosing which one I'd want to rest on my crotch and fiddle my thumbs on. Yeah, there's a visual for you. Let me know in the comments section if you agree with what I'm about to say as it pertains to Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. I just have no desire to play the game. It's just boring tripe. And it's not Sledgehammer's fault. If you follow me on Twitter, I have been very vocal praising Sledgehammer Games. This is not your guys' fault. It's not. If you're a dev watching this, you're doing a great job. I'm your biggest critic. I think you're doing a great job. It's everything behind the scenes that I have an issue with. It's the same stupid formula. It's Activision withholding literal features from us and lying to us and all that stuff. I've had no real news to cover since the Black Ops 6 trailer dropped, but I do have some news now. We got some new, I guess not even leaks. These are pretty much confirmed things from an insider, Ghost of Hope. And also, they straight up lied to us. Not technically, but they lied to us. I want to cover all of these things after a brief word from this video's sponsor, Factor. Today's video is sponsored by Factor. They have been sponsoring the Blame Truth YouTube channel for years now, and for good reason. They offer the perfect middle ground between fresh, never frozen meals delivered directly to my door and affordability. Takeout and delivery, it's just getting too expensive, man. Even fast food, I can't do it. The quality is just not there. I have to go wait in line. Who knows how long it's going to take? With Factor, everything is delivered fresh to your door. You pop it in the microwave for 2 or 3 minutes and you are good to go. And no matter your dietary restrictions, Factor has the hookup. Vegan, vegetarian, ketogenic, high protein, low calorie, you name it, Factor has got it. Normally I get the lower calorie options with pretty even macros, but with this latest Factor order of mine, I decided to go more protein, higher fat, less carbs as kind of that nightly satiating meal. Just something with a lot of protein, a lot of fat to really satisfy me so I don't end up snacking and ruining my diet before bed. I also picked up their refreshers, which for summer, these are a godsend. There is nothing like mowing the lawn and opening up a Factor refresher. The mint lemonade and the watermelon lime are fantastic. Natural ingredients, perfect on a hot summer's day. You just cannot beat it. So guys, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code CODFATHER50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code CODFATHER50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Alright guys, welcome back to the video. Love me some Factor, man. Been eating nothing but that this week while I play XDefiant endlessly. I have more time on this game now. No kidding. I had more time on this game now than the past 3 Call of Duty multiplayers combined. Straight up, I have like 140 hours. I know. Touch grass, BT. It's too hot. It is absolutely miserable outside. Speaking of miserable, and speaking of hot though, I got some hot, miserable news as it pertains to Call of Duty. This is just why I've checked out. We're going to cover 2 things here. One is, and I've even given them like an extra 7 days to kind of right this wrong, but this particular lie or delay, whatever you want to call it, that they've told here is very telling. I'll get into that in just a bit. I want to cover what Ghost of Hope says first here. His first tweet says, I get Call of Duty needs new things / returning things to market with the next yearly Call of Duty release, but it's crazy how many of those features are purposely held back from the current game because the next game is doing it. This even applies to Warzone with the integrations. For example, Sledgehammer Games wanted to do a classic prestige system for MW3, but got told no, and then it comes out BO6 is doing that system just a year later for their game. If Sledgehammer Games did it for MW3, then there's nothing to market about prestige for Black Ops 6. They purposely delay features. And I respond with this. They will never sell you a game that's so good you don't buy next year's game. Sad because Sledgehammer Games is doing the best work right now. And Hope says, look at Pick 10 as another example. COD 2025 supposedly doing it, and it's nowhere to be seen in Black Ops 6. That's the one coming after Black Ops 6. They're just not hiding it, and more people are catching on now. And guys, I'm sorry. Let's call a spade a motherfucking spade here. This has been their MO for the past 5 years, man. Purposely withholding stuff, purposely making games mid, purposely overhyping games. All they care about is that initial sale and lying to little Timmy No Thumbs and Billy Goat 57 that they're these amazing players because they're in these protected bracket lobbies with their casino-based engagement optimized matchmaking system. And the side effect of that is you'll buy bundles because you think you're like the next scump when in reality you've been gaslit, you've been lied to. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. I am tired of it. I want to yell a little bit because there's all this hype with the new Black Ops 6 trailer. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna fucking suck because they're not ever going to sell you a game that's so good that you don't buy the next game they release. I have said it over and over. I can't be more clear about it. It is a fact. You're never going to get the game you want. They learned their lesson by giving you the best Call of Duty with Black Ops 2, and then they proceeded to release Ghosts, COD Ghosts. And then more people went back and played the old game. That's not good for their business model of these yearly releases. I am so tired. Of these yearly releases. This starting over. This bringing back features they took away in previous years for no reason, only to tout them as new and innovative or whatever. The only thing in Black Ops 6 that looks new and innovative is the fact that you can walk like a fucking jackass. Let's just call a spade a spade. You can walk like an idiot. I think that's going to be a gimmick, and I think as soon as Infinity Ward and their molasses movement gets a hold of that, they're just going to axe it. I seriously don't think it's going to be in an Infinity Wars game. After playing X Defiant, though, legit, I'm just over this. I'm over all of it, man. Guys, I know a lot of people don't think X Defiant is a threat to Call of Duty. I don't think it's trying to be a threat to Call of Duty as in Warzone or Campaign or Zombies or anything like that. I think they are a real threat to the actual multiplayer component though. I truly do. And realistically, you have to really ask yourself, what is the incentive to play Call of Duty year after year after year when they fail to innovate, they fail to add on to the existing formula, and instead recycle, rehash, take things away, mix things up, miss the mark, not give you their best game they can give you because they have to have something they want to sell you next year. Now, in a year or even a year and a half, when X Defiant has 50 multiplayer maps and 70 multiplayer guns and 20 different factions, I'm probably overshooting these numbers a bit, but you get what I'm saying. When they've constantly added to the existing formula, like Dead by Daylight or Fortnite or whatever, as they add to the game, how in the fuck is Call of Duty going to compete? Especially Infinity Ward's Call of Duty. I mean, really really ask yourself if people are going to buy Infinity Ward's next Call of Duty after the debacle, I mean the absolute debacle that was Modern Warfare 2. You guys do not know how badly Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 hurt the franchise. You really don't know how many players they lost. I was keeping track of it for most of the year. They lost, where we could track it, over 80% of their player base just from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 shitting the bed. I don't know what to tell you guys. XDefiant is going to, if they just stick to their guns and keep doing what they're doing, you know, bugs be damned, hitches be damned, glitches in the system be damned. If they keep doing what they're doing, they will eventually win out through the sheer fact that it's a free game, and it's like they're trying. They're building upon one thing, which is what I've wanted Call of Duty to do for forever. They refuse. They're too greedy. So fuck them. On top of that, lest we forget, let's look at this. This is from several months ago. Here is a look at the calendar of matchmaking-focused white papers scheduled for release this year. Note, targeting timing may shift. Ping, this is when they released that Ping white paper after they dropped the matchmaking talk, which was carefully worded to avoid any sort of legal issues because their matchmaking is that shady and nefarious. But the Ping white paper already went live. The Skill white paper was supposed to go live at least 7 days ago. They said June 2024. It's now July 7th, 2024. Ranked Play, white paper about that's coming in late summer of 2024. And the last thing they're going to talk about are the experimentation methods with the matchmaking in fall 2024. I guarantee you that will be after Black Ops 6. These white papers will complement additional posts planned for the Call of Duty blog throughout the year to continue the conversation about Call of Duty's matchmaking process. I'm sorry here, but can I just ask you guys something? Why in the fuck do we need like 4 white papers to cover something as simple as just matching us based on ping, which is what the game should be doing? If you guys are wondering why I glaze XDefiant so much and why I play it so much, like 140 hours in now, the main reason is the matchmaking. It is that good. This is the best matchmaking we have ever seen in a multiplayer shooter ever. For one, no skill-based matchmaking whatsoever. Ping is king. For 2, input-based matchmaking. I don't like mouse and keyboard people. Mouse and keyboard people don't like me. Sometimes I'll see them both if I play with my mouse and keyboard friends while I'm on controller, but input-based matchmaking is the best feature ever. It truly is. On top of that, there is a factor of party size factored into the matchmaking. So if I play solo, I will match mostly with solo individuals as well. At most, they'll be in a party of 2. I'll never have to face like a full stack party. That wouldn't really be fair. And as we transition to the next gameplay here, AA12 again, sorry, I'm getting this thing Titanium Prisma. It's going to be my most used weapon, just as a funny thing, I don't know why. I really enjoy it, actually. I wreck with it. I know it's not the best weapon in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but it's good. I do really well with it. I don't really understand why, but anyway. Yeah, back to the matchmaking talk here. I mean, guys, they are delaying the matchmaking talk, and I've heard rumors both ways. I've heard rumors both ways on why they're, like, delaying it. I mean, it could be either one of these things. It could be, the first rumor which I heard is that they're toning down the skill-based matchmaking or the EOMM or whatever. They're making it easier. That's a rumor I heard. Then I heard an opposite rumor that it's going to actually be more strict because they want to protect the new players more than ever that are going to be checking out the game for the first time on Game Pass or whatever. They want to retain those bad players, the masses, with Game Pass. And the best way to do that is to lie to their face and, convince them that they're way better than they actually are so they keep playing. I've heard it both ways. Regardless, we're going to get some half-assed fucking sad excuse of a white paper as it pertains to skill. It's going to be carefully worded. They cannot get sued. Dude, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I swear to you guys. I swear to you guys. I'm not trying to start an XDefiant versus COD fanboy war. I'm not. I'm just being honest here. And I will be 100% honest. How do you expect me to pay or check out the game on Game Pass and still, again, pay 15, 20 bucks a month to play the game, play the multiplayer component, when I have a free-to-play competitor here that is going to add on to an existing thing and not take features away from me? How do they expect to compete when Infinity Ward drops their Call of Duty? I mean, seriously, I just don't get how they're going to compete when they keep constantly resetting, constantly taking things away, constantly relaunching the same bullshit that we've seen for the past 20 years now. And in the past 5 years, it is abundantly clear to anyone with a brain that they're out of ideas, they're out of passion, they only care about money and manipulating the player base. I could sit up here, and I have done this. It's one of my most viewed videos on the channel. I think it's got around 200,000 views. I cover EOMM, and I explain to people that they're being manipulated. I could literally show that video or any other video on the topic or any other person talking about it on Twitter, social media, whatever. I could show the Call of Duty player base and say, hey, you're actively being manipulated by the game. Like, the matchmaking is so ridiculously rigged that you might as well not even be playing. You're not in control of the outcome. I could show them that, and they probably wouldn't care or believe me or whatever. I'd say about the 70%, the majority of people would not care or believe me. And it goes back to that Mark Twain quote, paraphrasing here, but I believe it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled. It's clear as day that I am not Call of Duty's target audience. I don't want my handheld. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be punished the better I do at your game. I just don't. Why would I play Call of Duty over XDefiant? Why would I spend money to play Call of Duty over XDefiant? Realistically, I'm going to cover Black Ops 6, and I'll probably cover most Call of Duties, going forward every single year, like November, December. I'd be stupid not to. It's great money, and people seem to enjoy it. It brings new eyes to the channel. But for the rest of the year, I'll be real with you guys. I'm probably just going to play XDefiant. I can talk about COD still, but I have no desire. I have no desire to go back to that rigged-ass matchmaking. I have no desire to go back to the worst servers known to man. XDefiant has gotten flack for their netcode. I'll be real with you. I give their netcode at its current state probably an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. It's by no means perfect. I don't really have any issues, and you could watch these two videos, just watch like how things connect, how things work. Like, I really don't have any issues. I have a hardwired fiber internet connection. It's rare that I have any sort of hit detection, hit reg issues in this game. It's like 1 out of every 15 matches, maybe, I'd say. So, 8 out of 10, it could still be improved. It should be like 0 out of 15 matches. There's still room for improvement there. But I will say this, man. I don't get any packet burst. I have never so much as rubber banded once on this game. Yet, when I play Call of Duty, same great connection, same hardwired fiber internet connection, I have packet burst, I have packet loss, I have server crashes as far back as Black Ops 4 even. I had server crashes in Vanguard. I don't know what the issue is with Call of Duty, but between the matchmaking, the skill-based matchmaking, the lack of input-based matchmaking, the cheaters, the horrendous servers, I'm checked out. They would have to fix all of these things on the back end. Until then, I could care less what they do. I'm sorry, Sledgehammer Games. You are knocking it out of the park. I wish you got another year with the franchise. I really do. I wish you just kept Modern Warfare 3 going into, the next year here. I really wish you would. I think you're doing a fantastic job. This has nothing to do with your performance or what you've done, and everything to do with Activision's horrendous servers, horrendous matchmaking, horrendous cheating epidemic that they refuse to address. I, for one, am tired of it. Are you tired of it too, viewer? If you are, let me know in the comments section below. Because, man, I don't know. I don't tell you guys. I really don't see how Call of Duty is going to be able to compete if it keeps just doing this yearly release stuff. Not only that, I don't see how they can compete with the amount of cheaters and just issues with servers and just the qualms people have with matchmaking. And if they double down and make it stricter, I mean, God help us all. God help us all. I don't know what to tell you guys. I hope you enjoyed these 2 gameplays. The AA-12 is awesome. I'm going to be getting it Titanium Prisma very soon. But until then, I will bring you guys just some Flower Power or other skins on it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm still loving XDefiant. I'm worried about Black Ops 6, and truth be told, man, I'm just disgusted at the thought that the skill-based matchmaking could get worse. This delay, this lie of them getting the white paper out is pointing more towards the fact that it's changing, and I think it's just going to get more strict, and it's just going to get worse. Hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.
Some parting advice?